Masvidal wants to fight Leon Edwards as he wants to return to UFC. Cejudo might be retiring. Ian Machado, Garry could be returning to the octagon. GFL have announced 2 fight cards, and Khabib Nurmagomedov could be returning. Sit back, relax, combat catch up. Let's get into it. Yes, people, hope you're... I can't even make that picture out.
Oh, can't you make it out? It's Uncle Dana, man.
Oh, Dana like Leonardo DiCaprio.
You haven't seen my name on my thing, have you?
Oh, no, I've got the names off. Let me switch them on. Oh, bloody hell.
Yo, let's boot this guy already.
Bloody hell. People, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, but more importantly, go to the links in the description, subscribe to Jamie's channel, subscribe to Luke's channel as well. Look, the news of the day, Khabib is making a return. The last time he fought, he submitted Justin Gaethje, said he would never fight again, and on April the 1st, 2025, he's announced he's returning.
As a joke, yeah.
Next.
Joke. Of course, it's a joke. One person who is returning, though, and this is true, and that is George Masvidal.
Skip.
He said he wants to fight Leon Edwards, and after he beats Leon Edwards, in his own words, wants to fight for the belt. Now,
well, beating Leon's a thing now, is it?
All right, but hear me out. Hear me out. This fight is a grudge match. Obviously, remember what happened at UFC London back in, was it 2018 or something like that, when Masvidal knocked out Till, and then behind backstage they had a melee. The 3-piece and the soda was born. Masvidal became a star overnight, and then became an even bigger star after knocking out Ben Askren with a flying knee. And Leon Edwards always wanted that fight, and Masvidal kind of always just shooed him away and said, "Nah, he's not worth it." However, Masvidal making his return, Leon Edwards is ranked, I think, number 2 or number 3 in the welterweight division. Given how Leon Edwards has fought recently, you'd imagine that Masvidal looks at this and says, "I can win that fight." And if he wins that fight, he'll be the biggest name in the welterweight division. Is it beyond the realms of possibility that UFC could actually give him a title shot if he were to beat Leon Edwards on his return, boys?
Possibly, because he's a big name.
Fuck knows.
If we're talking about a fight to reignite, if we're talking about a fight to reignite the fire in Leon Edwards, then this would be the perfect fight for him. Like,
I mean, surely the Brady fight would have been a fight to reignite the fire in Edwards, no?
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, the Brady fight wasn't like a grudge match. Like, it wasn't like a grudge match, and plus it was a really crappy matchup against a high-level wrestler. This would be better for him matchup wise. I know Masvidal's got some wrestling background, but he probably wouldn't be using it in that fight. And it would be something to really ignite Leon Edwards' fire, because if he went there and Masvidal smoked him, pack it up, because you should not be getting smoked by Jorge Masvidal when you're supposed to be in the prime of your career. So this should be, a good way to reignite the fire in him.
Jay, one of your biggest criticisms of the UFC is the lack of star power. If there's one thing we can say about George Masvidal, he was a massive star before he retired, like a huge star.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, he's not in his fighting prime, but is this someone that needs to come back to maybe reignite, the welterweight division?
Look, it puts bums in seats, I suppose, and gets people talking again. Maybe some new matchups, something fresh, something a bit more exciting. But I don't care.
Why don't you care, Jay?
Because Leon's washed. If it was against anyone else, I'd be excited for it. I think this fight would stink. I just don't think Leon would have to go on the front foot and be super aggressive, which I don't think he's got in him anymore.
No,
I think I think what's happened to Leon, he's like with a lot of fighters, they're probably exceptional in camp, very aggressive, and as soon as it's match day, they just they hide within themselves. Something happens. It's like when a darter can't throw his dart no more for whatever reason. It's called, I think it's called dartitis or something like that. They literally can't let go of the dart, and I think that's with Leon. He can't let go of his fists and stuff like that. And with Masvidal's a bit older now. He's a bit cream crackered himself. He's going on the pace.
Sorry, I know that term in years. As a throwback, I know that term in years.
And yeah, I think it might be quite a stinky fight. Obviously you got the background and maybe the promos would be good, but Leon's not great on the stick either. He's not a great talker. I don't know how great it would actually be. Do it, because I don't know who else Leon's going to fight, to be fair. I really don't know who else Leon's going to fight. I never see him being a welterweight champion again. So I don't think Dana's going to give him that ability to do it. Why not? Let's do it. And I'm not interested in it like I should be, but I just don't know who else Leon fights, to be fair.
One, it's probably several years far too late, which is the thing now.
Just stay on that, Luke, because that's what I was going to come to next. Sorry to cut you, because I will come back to you straight away. Boxing's always criticized. Boxing's always criticized for giving you fights too late or not giving you fights at all. Is there an argument that this is happening in the UFC, but it's kind of going under the radar? Because let's be honest, Edwards versus Masvidal, that should have been made years ago. Like there was no excuse for that fight not to be made.
Should have been the next fight.
It should have been the next fight.
Yeah.
What I mean, are the UFC starting to go down that route of boxing where they are missing out on fights? You look at Jones Aspinall, Jones and Ngannou. I know the common denominator there is John Jones, but there's been other fights as well down the years. Is the UFC got to be careful that they don't develop that boxing reputation?
Yeah, because I think because the big question is, where's the stars gone? Where's the star power gone? And then when you're looking to bring the star power in, because the company's not done a good job at building people to be the stars, that's why you're going after trying to get back your Connors, your Masvidals, and Amir said it perfectly. Need new blood. How long we keep on talking about return of the bums? It's a testament to the failure of the UFC as a brand that you haven't moved on from the previous stars, which I completely agree, because you're seeing other fights, like older fighters from other promotions being released, like Ryan Bader's just been released by PFL and Bellator, and he's talking about wanting to come back to the UFC for like another stint. So that's the thing that
Jeremy Stevens has come back as well. So to cut you,
I think that Jeremy Stevens is like a one fight deal to fight Mason Jones, I think. But I do feel like that the UFC do need to move on, and they are falling into this reputation of doing either super fights too soon or super fights too early. Because there have been several occasions where they pulled the trigger on the super fight, and we've gone, this fight's a bit too early. Like these fights are still very green. Like, are you sure we should be putting this fight on now? And yes, we have not pulled the trigger on certain super fights like Jones and Ngannou, Jones Aspinall. What other super fights weren't made because they didn't pull the trigger?
Khabib Ferguson, but that was really bad.
Khabib Ferguson, you've got GSP
Silver and Jones.
Silver GSP, Brock Fedor.
Yeah, Silver Jones is the one, man.
Yeah, or like, so I think the UFC have always done it. I just think it's more under the radar because more times than not, they give you the fights you want to see. But they do have some absolute glaring ones where you've gone.
Like Whaley Valentina. That's right there. That was right there.
Right there.
That's right.
It's another one. Luke's spot on, to be fair. He's absolutely spot on. I don't know what is happening. This is why I always say they've got to build story and intrigue. This is why I don't want Ilya Islam fight straight away. Guys, announcement. One of the day's announcement. Ian Garry
will face Carlos Prates, who
Okay.
headline UFC Kansas City.
Why have they moved? Because Prates was meant to fight Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal got injured. Why have they moved him off the card? Why not just bring Garry onto the card?
I don't know. Maybe Garry can't make the weight. April 26th. I would assume that there's going to be other fights being announced, so I'll keep a close eye and I'll break it as it goes.
Appreciate that, Lou, bro. But I mean, you know, we'll move on to that because one of the topics of this show was Garry and who'd be fighting next. He did say fight news imminent. Carlos Prates obviously is a dangerous fight for anyone at welterweight. Do you think this is a chance for Garry to get back on the horse after the Shavkat fight, or do you think this is a really dangerous and a bit of a silly move?
I rate Garry, to be fair.
He's got cojones, man.
I rate the guy. I rate the guy.
Less than a month's notice.
Yeah, less than a month's notice. He just had a really hard fight as well, an exceptional fighter.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't. You know what we can all talk about his behind the scenes stuff, his misses and all that shenanigans going on, but he fights, man. That's what I like about him.
Turns up every single time.
He's going to have 2 dangerous fights in a row, and if he loses both, I don't think it does a lot of damage to him either.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It is a massive risk, you know. It is a massive risk. He's taking it on a less than a month's notice. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be ideal.
Oh, sorry to cut you. More breaking news. Merab will defend his title against Sean O'Malley in the main event of UFC 316 on the 7th of June.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena, co-main event.
On the same card, 316, right?
On the same card, which was sort of the rumor that came out a few weeks ago. We were sort of asking, where's the fight news?
There's the title match.
There's a title match. Amanda Nunes is sitting there. If they're right, Amanda Nunes is cage side for that event. Cage side.
Big up to Antonia in the chat. Obviously, this weren't on the agenda, so let's chop it up. How are we feeling about Merab versus Sean in the rematch? Because I'll be honest, I'm not happy about it.
I'm not happy about it, but Merab can finish his career for good, so let's go. I'm all about Merab now, man. I love Merab. Now.
Merab's your guy now, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Merab now. He's turned me, man. You know, I never knew I'd be turned so quick. But yeah, Merab's my guy. Let's finish O'Malley off.
Fought since he lost?
No, he hasn't.
No.
Come on, he's just doing the Colby Covington. He just sit and
it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. The thing that's gone in Sean's favour is there's no clear contender at 130.
Because Merab beat Umar.
And he's got Dana Zia.
And also Pantoja's fighting Kai Kara France, so you can't even run with that one, which would have been a hell of a fight in my opinion.
I swear Corey Sanhagen's fighting someone else. So and Figueiredo lost to Piotr Jan.
Yeah. Jan deserves a title shot more than O'Malley at this point.
Yeah, Merab won that fight comfortably, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't even close. So
I don't see a difference.
Me neither. Pena versus Harrison.
Close fight. It's going to be good.
It is a close fight.
This is going to be who can grapple the longest.
I don't know if it'll be a close fight, guys.
I think it might be close because I don't think there's going to be a lot of action on the stand up.
Okay.
I think they're going to swap. I think they both go get takedowns. They both go have grappling. They both go have periods in the fight where they go dominate one or the other on the ground, and it's going to come very close in that scenario. It might be a complete bore fest, but yeah, I think Pena, if she wants to stand, she'll have the advantage. Obviously, in my opinion.
Yeah, agree with that.
I want Pena to win that fight, by the way.
Is that Harrison weight cut? It's going to be the killer. Because this will be the first time that we see her make championship weight, and we know she looks half dead when she gets onto the scales. So it's going to be a very, very interesting one. That's for sure. Just make Amanda Nunes because if Amanda Nunes is coming back, get her at the event.
Oh yeah, you got it. I'm more interested in Pena and Nunes 3 than Harrison Nunes.
Same.
Yeah, I am, because we literally just talk about super fights that never happened. They didn't pull the trigger on this early enough, or they didn't get her to the UFC early enough.
And I just think Pena's a better enemy. I think she's a better bad guy
A
than
better
Amanda
trash talker.
Nunes. Yeah, it just makes for better television and better, more interest. I've no interest in watching Harrison and Amanda Nunes, none at all.
I hear it.
It just looked like a freak thing, wasn't it? Them two fighting.
I mean, they did train together, and if Harrison goes out there and puts in a dominant performance and beats Pena, I think it could be massive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she smokes Pena, then it's different. But I just don't know. I like Pena's jip. I like her.
You like her arrogance.
Yeah, she rubs people up the wrong way, and I think you need that.
Rubs me up the wrong way, balls.
Exactly. She can rub me any way she wants. But I want it, man. I need to see it. I want the trilogy. I don't want Godzilla versus King Kong.
See,
I need Amanda Nunes to come back and just smoke. Just need to smoke these fools, man. My go.
The thing is, Amanda's been out of the ring the octagon for a little while now. Do you still think she'll have it in her to go and do the business? Because if Pena showed in the first fight, she can outlast her if she needs to. And Harrison is a problem once she gets going as well. Is it a bigger risk than we're kind of thinking for Amanda Nunes to actually come back?
I think the rest is going to benefit her.
Oh yeah, the rest.
I think she was suffering with issues with the legs, being leg kicked so much. So I think this is more, I need a time away, rather than we're done. And it's sort of done the thing like she's retired because there is no one on. Well, I know that she lost to Pena, but there's no one close to her level. That's why she's retired, because she's waiting for someone who's worthy enough for her to come out of retirement for. And she doesn't deem Pena as worthy.
That's why they should have let Amanda Nunes fight in other organisations under the UFC name.
Yeah, she's the foot soldier that Dana could have actually gone and sent out and said, "Look, go there
for the UFC and win them belts as well."
Yeah, go and show everyone that you are literally the best in the world, and we have got the best women's fighter of all time. Go and do it. Can I ask you guys a question? I know it'll never happen, but if I gave you the option of Amanda Nunes versus Pena, Amanda Nunes versus Harrison, or Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg 2, which fight you guys taking?
Pena.
Give me Cyborg.
Pena.
Give me Cyborg 2.
I think I'm going down Luke's route. I think I'm going Cyborg.
I just want to see more fights. It was so short.
I'd have Pena, Nunes, and Harrison. Cyborg.
Yes. I genuinely believe that Cyborg fight could have been so different if they fought again. Not saying that she would lose, as in Nunes would lose. I just think it'd be a very different fight.
I think Nunes smokes her.
Do you?
I just think the weight cut's too much.
Yeah,
takes too much out of her. She's naturally a big woman, man.
Yeah, she is.
It's just too much for her, and it drains her. So you don't get the real her. If you did it as a catch weight, and Amanda went up, and they did a catch weight, then I think it'd be a more 50-50 fight. But no, I think Amanda smokes her every time.
That's fair. People, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Just want to go back to Merab and O'Malley. If Merab wins this fight, which we kind of think he will, where does that leave O'Malley and where does that leave the UFC in your guys' opinion?
Move him up to 145.
I think O'Malley goes smoked to 145.
Well, he's stuck. He has been Max Holloway'd.
No, but he's not though, because Holloway was actually fighting people and still taking them out. He's not.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to get Max Holloway because I swear to God, he cannot be like afforded special privileges if he just sits around and, well, as soon as Merab loses the belt, you're next in line for the title shot. Like, it can't happen. He needs to fight other contenders, and probably move up, man.
The thing about O'Malley, he's very skinny, very lean. I don't know if he's got. Some people just haven't got the body mass to put muscle on like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he's got it. I think he's just too lean naturally, and I also don't think he's got the skill set.
Yeah.
I literally don't think he's got the skill set to go up.
I don't think we've seen the full skill set because, I know Merab dominated him. I just don't know whether or not there was something offered him that night because all he's been talking about has been like
He had an injury, you were saying.
They also that he always goes, my ground game is elite, but I've not been able to show it because no one's been able to take me down. But against Merab and I think against Jan, his ground game wasn't that elite. So I don't know what he's been doing when he's been working the mats, but
I think O'Malley's just a talker.
Different.
I don't know if he survives at 45 plus. At 35, like he's not. It's not like he's cleaned out the division either. Like you look at the 35-pound division. If I'm not mistaken, he only fought Jan before getting a title shot. So it's only
and Jan beat him, by the way.
Yeah, Jan beat him.
There's a genuine argument for that.
Well, a lot of people think it, don't they? A lot of people.
I had O'Malley winning, but I wouldn't have been upset if Jan won. So in the top 10, he beat Marlon Vera and Jan. Sterling's no longer in the division.
That's disgusting. That makes me so.
That's what I'm saying. He's beat nobody. This geezer's are nothing.
That's what I'm saying. He could have fought Aldo. He could have fought Bautista, Cejudo, Font, Song Yadong, Figueiredo. Sanhagen fight's been there for so long.
It doesn't beat
Umar.
It doesn't beat any of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they literally what they did with O'Malley is what they do with a lot of people. They think they go to the top really quickly. They bypass fighters because they know it won't look good for him if he fights them guys. So they bypass, and that's what they've done. And now he's getting an automatic rematch in a fight he got completely dominated in.
Yeah. And
he's probably going to lose that again because Merab is too skilled for him. And then all them guys we just mentioned, he's got to fight next. How many of them does he beat?
Does this go back to the whole star thing, Jay? In the sense of the UFC are trying to build stars, but they're just doing it all wrong.
Yeah, they're rushing things. This is the issue. They rush things all the time. They need to let things cook, let things simmer a little bit.
They're so willing to hey, the second you got that viral knockout on the Contender Series, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah,
they probably thought, yes, you got the new McGregor over here. You got the new McGregor. Look,
but he can't talk.
Style.
Yeah, he's not like Conor.
Even close.
He can't even talk. You know,
close, man.
I just they rush it. They just don't let things simmer, man. They got to start letting things simmer. Like the longer this John Jones Tom Aspinall thing goes on, the more we want to watch it. So it actually works sort of in that way. You know, let things simmer a little bit. Now, O'Malley should have been going up through the rankings a little bit slower and having more harder fights where, you know, when a fighter's winning easy very quickly, there's no intrigue in that fighter.
Yeah.
The only intrigue you got in that fight is that you think he's a bit cocky and you want him to lose. And when he does lose, and then he loses the rematch, what do you do with him in? Because there's no intrigue in him anymore. If O'Malley loses Merab, zero interest in O'Malley from there on.
Yeah, and Merab's not moving up to 45.
No.
Merab makes 35 comfortably, and he's not the biggest of guys anyway.
No. They do this constantly, man. If he went through, and all them guys you've said just then, he hasn't fought in that division. If he went through about 3 of them, I think we're looking at a different fighter and a different person, and we're more intrigued by the guy.
Then we're begging for the fight. We're begging for the fight. If he went out there and beats Corey Sanhagen, Song Yadong, and Peter Yan, we're going, we need the fight again.
Yeah.
And they just rushed him, man. And
he's not had the fans inside. Like, he's not got the fans inside. Like,
no, because
we're talking about like, oh yeah, we want him to lose, so then we can start talking about him. But that shouldn't be the case. We should be rooting for him. Then this is the next guy. We need to root for him because we want to see him go on the legendary run.
He's manufactured.
That doesn't happen anymore.
He's a manufactured fighter. That's how it feels.
Yeah, and do you know what it is?
Oh, is that the Kevin Ioli in the chat?
Hey, it
That's
is
the
indeed, I
Kevin
believe.
Ioli.
Shout out to Kevin in the chat. Big up
The
yourself,
legendary
bro. Hope
Kevin
you're well.
Ioli.
The legend himself. I mean, we all watch WWE. Obviously, Jay, you're more of a scholar than I am when it comes to WWE. One of the things that fans seem to push back on, though, is that, as you said, that the manufactured superstar, manufactured wrestler. We've seen it with Roman Reigns
2015.
Yeah, John Cena went through it as well. Hulk Hogan. I mean, they have their boom and then they get found out pretty quickly. If I'm not mistaken, Jey Uso's kind of going through that. Even though he wasn't manufactured, Jey Uso's getting a bit of a pushback because it feels like the company are pushing him too hard.
Yeah.
Does Dana White and the UFC just need to take a step back and go, let's just let things simmer and let whoever becomes the star become the star rather than us trying to make the star?
And it's exactly, look what they're doing with Bo Nickel.
Yeah.
Bo Nickel is at best an okay fighter, yeah, but they're putting him into position. They're putting him into positions where they are obviously, as fans, we can see what UFC is doing. They want him to be a star. They're pushing him in a way that he fights a certain level of opponent, misses certain people out to get to where they want to get him. Like, he was on pay-per-view main cards in front of more experienced fighters in recent times. And then them experience, was it Sterling and Thingy were fighting? They got put down to the prelims for Bo Nickel.
Yeah,
who's not ranked to fight another non-ranked fighter.
Sterling Evloev.
So Sterling Evloev was put on the prelims, the main event of the prelim. Yeah, and Bo Nickel, a non-ranked fighter, fought another non-ranked fighter on the main card. Now, to all fans, they can see that's a manufactured fighter. We can see what's happening. You know, it's
still very, very green. Still, like
exactly, it's very raw. They should be. What they should do is go, right, we got this star here. Like boxing, Anthony Joshua from the Olympics, yeah? How many fights did he have in like 3 years? About 8 fights in 3 years? Working his way up, certain fight he go through, and people get more excited about seeing every performance. Oh, he's improved a little bit, he's improved a little bit, he's improved a little bit. And then eventually you get your big moment. Yeah, against Klitschko, which 4 years later after his debut? And it's massive. And I think that's where UFC go wrong. They rush people too quickly. And then when they lose, people are like, what now with him? What now? So if Bo Nickel loses to a fighter that Bo Nickel probably thinks he shouldn't lose to, everyone's going to go, well, what do you do with him now? Like literally, where does he go from here?
Oh, Callum's dropped.
And that's the issue with the way Dana is pushing certain fighters, and then you got tremendous fighters who don't get any fights.
I have to say, I do feel like that they are trying to find their next great American champion. Yeah. And they're trying to find that next guy, like, not saying like the skill level, like of a John Jones, of a DC, that next legendary American champion. But
European fighters have taken over.
I was just going to say, I might be
changed.
I might be speaking really out of turn here because obviously I'm not American, never lived in America. But this notion of having a great American champion, has it ever really sold well for them? Because I mean, the only fighter from America that I can really remember that's really sold well for UFC is Brock Lesnar, and that's because he built his name.
Couture,
but was he obviously Chuck Liddell as well? But like you look at Conor McGregor, Khabib. Now you're looking at
their biggest stars weren't American.
They're not American now. Topuria, another one. Merab's a massive star now.
Is he
European?
Pereira. Prohaska. Izzy, as you just said.
GSP wasn't American. He was
Aspinall.
Yeah.
Like these are non-American fighters. So again, it's a case of we get it. You're American. You're always gonna prioritize America in the same way I'd prioritize Jamaica. But at the same time, if you're running a business, surely you look at who's moving the needle and you say, look, let's get behind this person and let's get behind them and really push them rather than trying to force, because all that's going to happen, you're just going to get pushed back with Bo Nickel. And instead of Bo Nickel rising up the ranks and becoming a superstar, he's just going to rise up the ranks and become a disliked fighter that people want to lose.
Well, he's already getting booed.
Yeah, for no reason either.
Was it the Paul Craig fight, was it?
Paul Craig fight,
I'd say that he could beat Hamza.
It was a terrible fight. And then people just don't like him. And then he's doing his interview saying, I want Hamza. Hamza would destroy him, chew him up, spit him.
Sorry.
Like,
Hamza, another star.
I think they've been a bit hamstrung with Hamzat because he can't fight in America. So I think they've been a bit hamstrung there. But because he's not been able to fight in America, we haven't seen him much, which leads to intrigue. Yeah. Which I think they got away with Hamzat a bit. But yeah, Bo Nickel, man, these fighters, man, they just, and it's why I feel for Merab. I don't particularly like him as a fighter, but I do feel for him because he's been shoehorned so quickly from the Contender Series to where he is now. So
O'Malley, you mean? Sorry,
O'Malley. Yeah, sorry, O'Malley. So quickly.
He did have to sit someone that out injured, and then he did pop for marijuana.
Yeah. And then if he loses against Merab in his next fight, where does O'Malley go?
Yeah.
Goes back to the drawing board.
And he's going to have to fight the fighters that he should have been fighting on the way up, now become extremely dangerous because they're going to see him as a big fish.
Yeah.
And if he loses them fights, what do you do?
I have to say, I sort of like Piotr Jan. Because as soon as he got the belt, he sort of lost like 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Like went on a bit of a losing skid. And like, now only recently just finding himself to build his way back up.
I think Jan Merab is probably Jan and O'Malley's the fight you probably do.
That is the fight that should have been made. That should have been the rematch. Again, we don't know if Merab is sitting there going, I want to fight. But if I'm not mistaken, Merab wanted a bit of a break after his last fight because he fought back to back quite quickly.
Yeah.
You could have done Jan O'Malley in June and then the winner gets Merab later on in the year.
That's more intriguing because of their fight.
Yeah.
It was extremely close. And it was the hardest fight apart from Merab that O'Malley's had in the UFC.
And do it over 5 rounds as well. Let us see if O'Malley's got.
You make it a fight night main event. I
think you could still whack it on a pay-per-view, Jay, as a co-main. Just put it as a number 1 contender bout.
You could do. I always think these fight. I think they need to start putting. I think fight nights should be number 1 contender fights as well. So I think if you got a number 1 contender fight, put it on a fight night. Yeah, you get intrigue in the fight night. Then people watch it, and you're like, right, it's like you got a middleweight number 1 contender. Dana's like, whoever wins this fight gets the middleweight champion in a few months' time on pay-per-view, headlining, bloody blah. It gets more intrigue in a fight night then. Because I don't think they use fight nights properly at all.
I agree with you. The only problem is they would never do that because of the pay-per-views that Jan and O'Malley would bring in. I see a different picture. I see it like you in the sense of sometimes you've got to lose money to make money in the future. So you might be losing money in the short term, but in the long term, you'll probably gain more fans from putting on a fight night because they'll be able to watch it and they'll be invested to then follow up and watch the pay-per-view rather than whacking it straight on the pay-per-view. Casuals might not be interested and then boom, you've lost out on some of the crowd as well. It's a tough one, man. I don't know what's going on with the UFC. Obviously, their TV deal with ESPN's coming up soon. Conor McGregor said recently it looks like he's going to kind of call it quits. We all kind of knew that Conor's not
trying to Yeah, poor Chandler, man. Never got his red panty.
Like, I'm going to call him out again at UFC 313. McGregor's like, mate, stop it, son. I ain't going to avoid you, yeah? Yeah, full game, boom of a team.
It's a bit pointless calling. I mean, he wants to run for presidency of Ireland, don't he? So
yeah,
that's what he's going to try and do.
Crazy when you think of where he's come from and.
Bit up Sad in the chat as well, by the way.
Say again.
Bit up Sad in the chat.
Big up Sad. Big up yourself, bro. Let's go back to Ian Garry, guys, because that was the first announcement that broke this evening with all the announcements. If Ian Garry does beat Prates, Does that put him directly in title contention, or does he still need one more potentially before getting the
He's
shot?
probably the next on the block here.
Mm.
I mean, if he beats Shavkat, he
how it
probably does
wins.
get a title shot, don't he? So
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah.
so if he wins that, you probably go. Depends what they're doing in that division, don't it? You know, at the top end of it. I'm not sure because we got who's thingy defending against. Do we know yet?
Yeah, so it's Jack Della Maddalena in Canada.
Yeah.
And then you got
And
Sean
then-
Brady Rachmanov.
Has that been confirmed?
Well, no. Well, I'm like in my eyes, I'm doing a number one contenders bout between Brady and Rachmanov.
I don't think they'll do one. I think Shavkat will just get the winner of JDM and Bilal.
Okay, that means for me, so you got. Thing is, I do Brady Usman.
I don't think Brady takes another fight either, though. I think that there's a logjam at 170 now.
Which means Bilal can't drop the belt. Because if JDM wins the belt, you know Islam's going to be like, hello, title shot 170, please.
I don't know if they give it to Islam, though, yet.
And that's more log jamming. I swear it's like supposed to be like Joaquin Buckley, Kamaru Usman. That was the rumored fight to happen. So I'll go with that because Buckley's 6. Like it's not like Kamaru's taking someone that's like ranked number 12. Buckley is ranked number 6.
Buckley's ranked higher than Ian Garry.
Yeah, Buckley's ranked the place above. If they can work something out, it's about going back to Ireland. Fuck it, make Ian Garry versus Leon Edwards in Dublin.
I think that's a good fight. I think what they might do. I think if Ian Garry wins, they do Ian Garry, Sean Brady, and then the winner gets the title shot.
That's a good fight.
I think that's what they might do. Because, yeah,
that's a shout.
Yeah, Sean, Brady just had that, great performance against Leon Edwards, and
dominant.
He looks like a beast, and.
That's a tough fight for Ian. I think he could lose that.
But if Ian Garry comes through this, they usually like rewarding, and because he's done it on late notice,
short notice as well.
Yeah, so I think if Garry wins this, you get Garry and thingy next, and then
Brady.
Yeah, Brady next, and then later in the year you have a title fight.
Also, Islam's next fight is not to break the most title defenses. It's to equal the most wins, consecutive wins.
Yeah, Anderson Silva, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva still got the record after all these years.
Yeah,
That's mad.
John Jones is 19 undefeated.
That's mad, Anderson Silva's the GOAT. I don't care what anyone says.
Middleweight, 100%. Like
I love that guy, man.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a period where I thought Izzy could potentially surpass him, but Anderson's that guy, man. Anderson's just that guy. He's another one, Brazilian. Look how big of a star he was.
Well, he was the star in UFC at the time,
the biggest star, yeah. Literally up until he broke his leg, he was top 3 biggest stars in UFC.
Yeah, I love that guy, man. I've never seen a martial artist move like him.
Oh, especially in his heyday.
He used to throw a knee like an uppercut.
Yeah,
like from an angle, I just never seen anything like him, man. I love that guy.
He's just so innovative, in it. Just like remember that front kick against Vitor.
Yeah.
Oh.
That Steven Seagal claimed.
Yeah. Oh, Steve! Remember Steven Seagal going to events?
Yeah. He was training Anderson Silva, wasn't he? Anderson was like, "If you touch me, fat man, I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
Give me your Aikido shit.
You ever see when him and Pereira were doing some stuff, and Pereira just looking at him like, "I'll milk it a little bit, but don't insult me, bro." Like,
exactly.
I will left hook you.
Was that Showbox, wasn't it?
Yeah. Showbox
is. Oh man, they literally just beat the shit out of each other in training. That's what Showbox was.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I go back, Jamie, obviously we've had a good show so far. I'm not bringing this up to annoy you, but Cejudo, there's Your whole mood change. Your whole mood changes. So there are rumors that Cejudo is going to potentially retire.
Good for that.
If Cejudo retires off the back of his last fight and the fact that he's on a losing streak, is Cejudo the biggest what if in MMA history, considering what he accomplished, what he could have accomplished if he stuck around, and what he failed to accomplish when he made his return?
Yeah, like Luke said this many times before, he thought he was something he actually wasn't. You know, saying, you know, he retired because he wanted the fans to go, oh, we need Henry back. UFC, we need Henry back. In fact, they forgot about him.
Yeah.
Because they forgot about him. But they thought, oh, they'll come back for me. You know, like Tyson Fury's retired right now.
Yeah.
He's only done it so everyone wants that fight with him and AJ, and he's waiting for the market opportunity. People will call him back. Henry Cejudo, he retired trying to do the same thing, thinking, oh, I've done it all now. I've beaten a few bums, you know, fighters that are on the way out, won some titles. I'm going to call it quits there because I don't want to fight anyone fresh who can actually hurt me. So I'm going to leave. Thinking he's going to sit there, do work for UFC, do their online work and all that, and then nothing came. No one spoke about Henry Cejudo when he retired. Like, no one brought his name up.
He spoke about coming back and fighting Volk. Volk was like, come on, man. Are you serious? This is like Volk at the pump was asked about, oh, would you entertain Cejudo fight, him coming back? And he was like, he's insulted by the question.
Yeah,
Henry Cejudo is one of them people who just lives in his own world, his own bubble. You know, there's no one else but Henry Cejudo. And, you know, he will go into the Hall of Fame because what he did in the company, right? But he's a boring cunt. You know, simple as that.
He's got one of the great minds, that's for sure.
Here's the thing. Obviously, he came up with the whole cringe gimmick.
Oh, it's horrible.
I don't even think that got over either.
Nothing got over. What did he get over?
Didn't get
what
over.
did he get over? He used to do interviews with like 2 or 3 women behind him, didn't he? Like thinking he's a playboy. No one bought it. Yeah, no one bought it, man. No one bought it.
It's like the Colby Covington stuff, isn't it?
What he's proven is that he is one of the great minds. Like you've seen it when he's coached. So he's got a brilliant mind. It's just I think the way he marketed himself was absolutely abysmal. And look, I've said it many times before. Jay said it. He banked on himself with people missing him, and thinking that he could strong arm the UFC to get, giving him that multi-million-pound contract to come back and fight, which was sort of naive because Demetrius Johnson didn't get the money that he was right for and for me,
he's light years ahead.
Johnson is light years ahead. Of...
We want DJ to fight now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm wanting DJ to come back to fight Pantoja. like that's how much.
I'm not gonna lie to you boys. You see, if DJ announced his return, I would drop everything.
What, your pants?
Literally everything.
Trousers.
Like that. Man's got to do what man's got to do, Joe.
I'm telling you, a DJ. If DJ went, you know what? I've got one more in me, and calls Pantoja out. Biggest fight of the year. Biggest fight of the year.
Bro, I'm dropping everything to watch that fight.
If Henry Cejudo came out and said, and Volk won the title in the next pay-per-view, he wins the title at the old age of 38 or whatever it is, and then Henry Cejudo, calls him out. I've got one more in me. Care. No one's gonna care. No one's like, this is where Henry just lives in his own bubble, man. Yeah. He couldn't get anything over. He was the Lance Storm of MMA.
Oh, that is harsh. The Lance Storm is harsh.
Technically great. Boring.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. Right, before we sign off, boys, we got one more topic to speak about. Shout out again to you guys. Please do smash the like button, people, and subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. The GFL have announced 2 cards.
Oh, I'm up for this, man. Here we go.
Fight card number 1, May the 25th. Tony Ferguson versus Dylan Dennis. Uriah Hall versus Douglas Lima.
Ooh.
McFarlane versus Pereira.
Oh,
Gustafsson versus Ovin St. Preux.
oh,
Belter versus Austin. Paige
oh,
Van Zandt versus Field.
that's
Usman
naughty.
versus
That's the money fight right
Nurmagomedov.
there.
Oh my word! These are just stand-up wars. Let's go.
Now, obviously, the first thing people say about the Global Fight League is look at the age of these fighters. But
Yeah, it's
I
stupid.
admire it because at least they're fighting them on par with who they are. Rather than at the UFC, it would have been Tony Ferguson versus, I don't know, bloody Gamrot, for example. And Gamrot's
Yeah.
going to bulldoze him. The second card, which is,
Oh
sorry,
my
on the
word.
May the 24th,
My word.
Faber versus Barral 3.
Give me it.
Mendes versus Linares.
Give me it.
Pettis versus Benson.
Oh, that's
Henderson.
rolling back. WEC days. Let's go.
Oh, the Showtime kick. Holly Holm versus Julia Budd.
That'll even be a fight.
Marlon Moraes versus Ray Borg.
Oh, Ray
And
Borg, man.
Conor versus Kat Zingano.
This,
Guys,
the,
sign me
Hey, this is
up!
better than most stuff the UFC's put together this year.
Sign
Where-
me up.
where is this being able to watch?
I
This
don't
is the
know.
thing. We don't know yet. We don't know. I'm hoping Sky Sports or someone grabs it.
They should just whack it on YouTube.
Yeah. They've got to make their money somehow, Jay.
Adverts on YouTube.
Yeah,
Revenue.
they'd probably make more money on YouTube because they'll sell it to sponsors. They could sell it
Yeah.
to sponsors that way rather than try and get on TV.
Sell it all the sponsors on YouTube and just play the advert and play the ads. And
Yeah, play the adverts. Yeah, pre-recorded.
to make more money than they did because if they go on TV on pay-per-view, how many people are legitimately going to buy this on
They're
pay-per-view?
not loads.
Right? Not real hardcores, yeah, that fancy something different like us, yeah. But then, how much is it going to be on pay-per-view? Is anyone really going to work out in America? What, $69, and for 2 cards, you're not going to do it. That's 130 quid. You're not going to do it. So I think they either put it on Prime Video.
That's a shout.
Put it on Prime Video, where you don't have, I know what AEW does, puts their pay-per-views on Prime Video, but then you've got to buy the pay-per-view, which is absolute madness. Don't ask me why they do that. But just put it on Prime Video or put it on YouTube. They'll make more money putting it on YouTube than they will if they put it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, agreed.
Just don't put it on Kick, man. Just don't do that. But yeah, that'd be. I think that's what they're gonna have to do. It's gonna have to be a streaming platform. I just can't see it being pay-per-view, man. It'd lose so much money. But you put it on YouTube, they get so many people watching it.
Well. Yeah, it would do well. It would do well. Can't wait for it. Well, boys, we're gonna sign off there. Have you guys got anything coming up over the next couple of days that you want to
Not gonna lie.
Yes.
No. No, I don't do.
Thursday night, Jay?
Thursday night. Yeah, you up for that still?
Come on, of course I am. You know I am.
10:30. I think we're doing it at 10:30. Yeah.
What's happening Thursday night?
Pause. We're doing a show at 10:30.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
People are like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, new show, Vibes with Coppish, it's called. Yeah.
Indeed. Jabbo's got a question for you, Joe.
I've got it to save to watch on my YouTube. I'm a slapper. What can I say? I've even bought a T-shirt.
He loves it as well.
Bought a T-shirt, man. I just watched the I was just watching a replay of Paige Van Zandt's last fight.
Didn't one of like the biggest names, one of the women?
Yeah, she got knocked out.
Yeah, didn't she get knocked out?
Yeah, the big. I can't remember her name now. She's got a massive jaw like that.
Yeah,
it's one that went viral when she got slapped and her eyes went changed shape.
Shit, I've seen that one.
Changed shape, but that was obviously it was like it weren't real. Obviously, it was just. But yeah, that's what she went viral for that because everyone thought it was real. But yeah, she got knocked out in the first slap. Literally the first slap of the fight. Got absolutely sparked, like pure palm right in the jaw, and literally when you see the slow mo, jaw go like that, and she gets slapped.
yeah.
Presentation's better in UFC at the moment. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, they put more effort into it. That's why.
You can even stream it, right? If you're a YouTuber and you get clearance, they will let you stream it.
That's crazy.
Just letting you know, Cal.
Yeah.
You do a watch along. You can literally like get in touch with them, and they're letting YouTubers now do watch-alongs for it on their channel.
Should have done that ages ago, man. Should have done that ages ago. What can you do? Big up to Imran in the chat as well. Well, people, please do smash the like button. Go and subscribe to Luke's channel. Go and subscribe to Jamie's channel. Links are in the description. Got a new video dropping tomorrow as part of the MMA Mount Rushmore series. Did a video with MMA Junkies, Farah Hanan on the women's strawweight division.
Oh,
So
I
make
know
sure you tune into that. Yeah, she's brilliant, man. Such a great
MMA junkie.
mind. Yeah, she's brilliant, man. She's brilliant.
Oh,
We've got to do one soon as well, guys. I'm keeping a special weight division for us though.
We're going to keep Cejudo's favorite div.
If we get 135, I'm going to do that.
That would be incredible. But now, people, if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you all for watching and listening. This has been the Sanderson Show. Man, now you go. Take care. Speak soon, people.